Welcome to channel EMAC, your insight to the Australian visa system. Good day everyone, my name is Carl Young, your online YouTube visa consultant. Are you interested about migrate to Australia? Why don't you consider to subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell on the side so once we have all the updates and news, be the first one of getting all the insight. Now today's video, we would like to review the indicative list of the study courses or programs, should I say, that allows you to actually, or international student, to have that further extension on the graduate work visa. Now, why are we looking into that list again? Now, obviously, you notice there has been a migration review report where a major overhaul of the entire visa system will happen. Now, you may recall that one of my videos was talking about the new student visa and obviously the upcoming changes to the point test system. Everybody's weary whether or not the courses that you study or the program that you chosen to study with will actually lies into those perhaps a migration pathway there. So that is the reason I wanted to go a little bit of detail of that indicative courses lists so that you will know that whether or not to pick this is right course or not. Obviously the list is solely on the higher education. You may notice there's nothing about the vet courses. So what is happening there? Obviously there is a direction that the government of Australia is looking to promote towards. Now, I'm not saying that study cookery course or carpentry you won't get a graduate work visa. You will still, but you don't have that further extension there. So just bear in mind, if you wanted to go into the vet courses, perhaps you really require to get an employment sponsor visa afterward. Otherwise you probably will not get enough work experiences perhaps to actually stay in Australia. Anyway, let's go into this list of stuff. So now you may have, well, we have reviewed this page previously. It's from the Department of Education, and noticing that from the 1st July, which is going to be a few weeks to go, that this will the new law will kick in. So the 2-year extension on the post-study work right. So you may have noticed that well, this is probably about 2 months ago's news, but on that video that we have done, we barely go through the detail of this so-called indicative list of eligible occupation, because that is the demand in relation to the qualification that's eligible for extension. What does that mean? That basically means if you have choose other program rather than any of those programs in this list, you won't get that additional extensions. And that's about well, let's go in and have a look what those extensions actually are, shall we? So let me just click into those documents and then we can go in and have a look at there. So once we click at that link, it will bring us to this page of the list occupied. I don't know why it just don't go straight there. What is the difference between DOCX and a PDF documents? Well, it doesn't really make any differences. Anyway, let's go into that document there and let's have a good read about this. So obviously you may notice from 1st July this year, the post-study work right will have effect and give you additional work experiences and the visa. So 2 years for the 4-year batch selected bachelor degree, and 3-year to 5-year of a selected master degree, and 4-year to 6-year of all doctoral qualification, but it has to be within that list. Now let's scroll down and have a look on that one, but let's read on this. So all doctoral study are considered eligible measure regardless of field of study, are not listed individually. So what does that mean? So you can study, well, I don't know, philosophy in art perhaps, or languages, that will still allow you to get that 6 year. But if it's anything below PhD, meaning if it's gonna be master or bachelor degree, you have to pick those courses in order to have that additional 2 years of work visa. So let's scroll down to the indicative list of eligible qualification. Now, bear in mind, this is a what should I say, the dynamic list. It changes, but what the government had indicated that as long as you're enrolled of that year, so you once you study, obviously there's going to be a 2, 3, 4 years of lapse. So if you enroll in that year, you'll be counted within that year. You won't be affected on the future changes. So I think that's a more what should I say, a reliable way for the international student, rather than rely on the previous policies. If you choose whatever the course you study, and by the day that you graduate, and if the list has changes, bad luck, you're gone. But for the new the current government, I think they are more giving out a reliability to the international student there. So let's have a look. Again, it says all doctoral graduate will have that there anyway. So the first is the medical and nursing. So as we are in the post-pandemic period of time of our lifetime, I never imagined that in 2020 through 22 we will ever, we're in the modern world. How the heck we have gone through a major pandemic. But anyway, that just happened. So medical and nursing is still in the priority list. So there's bachelor's psychological science, bachelor of health, bachelor of medicine, and bachelor of surgery. So any kind of courses relate to health, science, medical, basically are all in here. Applied science, diagnostic, radiography, radiation science, radiography, and medical imaging, honors, clinical science, speech pathology, clinical psychology, diagnostic, radiography, applied behavior analysis, applied psychology, leadership and management. Well, not just that, but in healthcare. I never knew there's a leadership management courses in healthcare. Audiology studies, master research in medicine and health science, clinical embroidery, master philosophy in medicine and health. Now, I don't know what that course is all about. If anyone know about this? I mean, philosophy in medicine? How do you get philosophy in medicine and health? Anyhow, okay, business psychology, isn't that more towards business behavior? Not too sure. I don't know why it's under the medical and nursing. So it's just going through detailed lists. Sometimes it's quite interesting, isn't it? Master of Psychology, Master of Professional Psychology, Master of Counseling and Psychology. All right, now moving onwards to for occupational category. What was that category before? Isn't that the same? Oh, medical profession. And what's this one? A nursing. Oh, nursing and medical technicians. So nurses are all in there. Health science, nurse science, enrolled nurse, graduate entry, clinical nutrition, and the exercise and sports science. That's a pretty favorable topic that a lot of young people pick those kind of topic nowadays because of the sportsmen and all that kind of things. Health community services, health medical science, sport exercise science. Isn't that the same? Exercise and sports science, and this is sport and exercise science. What's the difference between that and that? Okay, public health, right? Apply public health, nursing, enrolled nurse and registered nurse pathway, dermal science, public health. Isn't that? Oh, okay, that's a bachelor of public health. That's a master of public health. So I'm sorry, I thought they were duplication. Public health. Advanced nurse practice, nursing practice, nursing practice, nursing international, laboratory medicine, nursing practice, global public health. Well, that is pretty related to the pandemic that we have just gone in the past 2 or 3 years. Health science, public health extension, nursing science, biomedical and health science, nutrition and population health. Wow, how would the nutrition relate to the population? That's a pretty interesting topic. anyway. Okay, health and human service management, health management, nursing studies, dietetics, isn't it dietitians? Or anyway, nursing. And then we're moving on to the dentistry. Despite that, dentistry is actually a very hard courses to actually study with, but there's still lack in the dentists. I thought the Council of Dentistry don't really like international dentists, but anyhow, okay, dental science, dental surgery, dental health science, oral health therapy, dental technology, and this is Bachelor of Dental Technology and Bachelor of Dental Prosthetics, and the dental hygiene and science in the oral health and therapy, Master of Dentistry, Master of Dental Public and Primary Health and Clinical Dentistry. Moving on to the vets, so vet science and animal and vet bioscience. This is big because Australia is technically have very large agriculture industry, that including all the animals and things, not just for not just for it's connected to the agriculture industry anyway. So I'm pretty welcome on this one here. Master of Philosophy in Veterinary Science. Again, how would there be a philosophy? Not too sure. I'm never into that industry, but that is an interesting stuff. Tropical veterinary science. Okay. Medical imaging, so that's all within the medical and health. So the imaging is all the radiation science, applied science. So there's all type of radiation usage in the health science here. You can see that all there. Magnetic resonance technology. Wow, sounds fantastic. Medical imaging, radio pharmaceutical science. That's an interesting one. I've been through one of the lab. They're using the radiation to actually detect how the pharmaceutical goods, for example, the drugs, how the drug actually, I don't know, the chemical reactions. Anyway, that's very interesting stuff. Radiologist, so Bachelor of Surgery. How does that go into Bachelor of Surgery? I'm never into the health and medical, but anyhow, Bachelor of Surgery, so you want to be a surgeon, applied science, radiography, medical imaging. Isn't that the same as what this up here? Why do they have differences right between this one and that one? Okay. Anyhow, there's a surgery here as well, medical studies, and the Doctor of Medicine and Doctor of Diagnostic Radiography. Now, going on to the applied health, that is more towards a psychologist. So obviously going through a very depressed couple of years, a psychologist is actually required. I thought a lot of psychologists may go a little bit psycho, but anyhow, psychologist science, they're all similar words. I'm not too sure why they have repeating one another with a bracket of honors or not. Occupational therapy, and also master courses in psychology and audiology. Now, how does audiology go into a category of psychologists? I'm not too sure who actually put these category all together. And the chiropractic science, that's not psychologist. Don't know. Speech pathology, that's under the category psychologist. I'm not too sure about that one too. Recovery therapists, so these are physiotherapists, occupational therapy, speech. See, that speech pathology is also up here, isn't it? Didn't we just went through that one there? But I'm not too sure how that connect to psychologists, and isn't that more towards recovery therapist? Anyhow, we need to talk to Department of Education. No, chiropractic science, yes, that's recovery therapy, but definitely not psychologist. Anyway, let's continue go on. Physiotherapy studies, speech pathology, clinical audiology, and again, leadership and management, healthcare, exciting, and the music therapy. I really want to know about how that will work. Anyway, optometrist, that's pretty straightforward on the vision, what your eye cares. Pharmacist, that's pretty straightforward. Again, there's not much of differences there. Master of a good manufacturer practice. Wow, interesting. That's under pharmacist study. Interesting. Okay, and there's a philosophy, a master of philosophy under pharmacy as well. Is that an art of distributing drugs? Perhaps, I don't know. All right, teaching, that's pretty straightforward. Early child care and the early childhood and art. And also we go into the secondary teaching, master of education, master of teaching, TESOL. Now, don't know. I thought we have enough English teachers in Australia, but I'm not too sure why they put TESOL under this category. Well, so there may be a lot of people come to Australia, study Master of TESOL, and become an English teacher. Is that what they're what the government is looking for? Perhaps, not too sure. Okay, engineering. There's a Bachelor of Science, Engineering Honors, Biomedical, and the Medical Science is not under medical, but anyway, I think it's more technical stuff under, building, biomedical stuff. And the science lab, engineering, civil construction, and there's a mechanical. Interestingly, that there is no specific category under electronic or electrical type of engineering, but I think that's just under the general umbrella of the Bachelor of Engineering Science. Perhaps there's biotechnology, construction management, and the engineer. So when they're trying to talk about engineers, they're more talking about structural stuff, isn't it? It's all mechanical and civil. But what about electrical and the electronic? What about chemical engineer? Where are they? Are they under the engineering science? Perhaps they are. And there's a philosophy in engineering too. I have never seen anyone study Master of Philosophy under whatever the health or medical and the now engineering here too, interestingly. Okay, ICT, that's pretty straightforward. So that's all the software engineer, computer science, networking, cyber security. Not too sure there's a blockchain or there has been a blockchain studies, but under the business, not the ICT. So I'm not too sure why they are not applied into the ICT category here. And master of business analysis, cybersecurity and networking, technology and software, enterprise resource planning. Moving onward to the agriculture, biomedicine, and the agricultural science, environmental science, marine science, biotechnology, and isn't that the same as what we had just saw up there? Master of sustainability. That's a good course. That will be key of the future key. Molecule biology. Now, food technologies, anything connected to food, it's all Bachelor of Science, biomedical. So a lot of things are cross category. Haven't we seen biomedical science right up here, isn't it? Somewhere there. It's it's closely related, I think. Okay, pharmaceutical science, biotechnology thing, we see that there already. Viticulture, that's for the winery and stuff like that. Biotechnology, and the food science, medical and material technology, research. Material technology under food technologies. Material can be industrial use, isn't it? I'm not too sure about that. Lab of medicine, wine business. Look at this, Master of Wine Business. Why don't we all study Master of Wine Business and get an extension of your post-study work visa? And I think that's the end. Master of Science, Master of Food Science. So what we have just gone through is a more detailed list of what they so-called indicative eligible list of courses to be studied with. So why do we actually go through this? Because we know that the new point test is coming out, and obviously it will actually award more they call high human capital. Remember, if you go through the migration review program that we have just chatted about for the last 2 weeks. So the reason I go through this, because this list has been awarded additional 2-year extension on post-study work visa. Why? Because these are the programs that the government of Australia want to have. Obviously, it's some sort of like priority list. So if you pick those programs, I'm pretty sure your chances to migrate to Australia will actually be higher than picking up other courses. Anyway, should you have more question, query, more than welcome to leave comment right down below, and I'll see you next video. Goodbye.